Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Hope you are doing great. So there is this nurse whose video has gone viral over the video she made with a black dog because she was mocking people that are on Snap with that black dog clothed, meaning she was talking to a specific kind of people. People did not find that video funny. People did not take it lightly, and they decided to find out where she worked, and she has actually been sacked as we speak. Now, I have seen so many videos of people who were sacked from their jobs because of their stupid videos. Videos that probably did not 2 minutes video, less than 2 minutes video and all that, and you have lost your job, your career and all that. That tells you how stupid some people are. Because if you are not stupid and racist, you would not have mounted your camera to do something like that. Let me tell us something, especially white people. I have actually seen how disgusting some of you all hearts are. Because tell me how just over SNAP benefit, you all of a sudden became really very silly. But anybody that became really very silly during this SNAP discussion, it means you have always been stupid and probably people did not say it and all that. Now you are trolling as a healthcare and then finding out that where you work there are so many people on SNAP benefit and Medicaid. You are not a good person. Let's get into this video.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
Are you fucking shitting me? Have you really been a fucking RN for 30 fucking years and you have the caucasity to make fun of people that aren't going to eat? And then you have the audacity to have a GoFundMe for your mother in your fucking profile? I feel sorry for her because she raised such a fucking oblivious thunder cunt. And what kind of healthcare have you been providing? This is coming from another healthcare professional to people for the last 30 years. How many complaints do you have against you? You are what's wrong with fucking humanity. And I truly feel sorry for your grandchild who's sick, and I will pray for him. And I will have to pray for you, even though I think you're a fucking thunder cunt. And when you get on here crying because your employer's already been contacted by several people and you lose your job and your retirement, just remember what you said. Remember what you did. And I hope you have the day you deserve.
I'm stitching this because people need to see what's happening in real time when a nurse publicly mocks people receiving SNAP benefits as if poverty is a personal failure. So this nurse, who's identifies as Tina Coleman, an RN at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama, thought it was appropriate to belittle people who rely on public assistance, many of whom are the same patients we care for every day. So I'm going to let you see the clip.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
So this is the ugly side of nursing culture we don't talk about enough. The performative, I work 2 jobs pride that disguises contempt for the poor. Nursing isn't about judging who's worthy of help. It's about care, equity, and humanity. And we've seen too many stories of bullying, discrimination, and classism in this field. It is time for accountability. The profession needs to study it, name it, and root it out. Because when you humiliate the vulnerable, you do not represent nursing. You absolutely disgrace it.
A registered nurse in her scrubs, a person who gets paid to care about people, gets up here on the internet making a video where she's fake crying about how her baby hasn't eaten in 2 hours and that's why she's on her way to her second job. Yeah, making fun of SNAP recipients who are overwhelmingly, unironically, her demographic. Yeah, white women. Yeah, she's in scrubs, standing in her kitchen. She's probably never missed a meal in her life. She's making fun of kids who have probably had to go hungry before. Oh, and it gets better. When she gets called out in the comment section that's eating her up, as they should, she says, I conquer consequences, both good and bad. I'm sorry, what? That ain't the most white ass, privileged ass comment I've ever heard in my life. And she's exposing the truth that she knows. No matter how cruel, how ugly, how evil her comments are, her job, her reputation, and her livelihood will most likely stay intact. Oh, honey, the privilege is loud. A nurse with no empathy. Honey, that tells you exactly the type of rot that seeps through the system. It's deep in the healthcare field, as we can clearly see. People in caregiving roles mocking the poor and then calling it fun. If you cannot have empathy for or see the humanity in people that need help and assistance feeding their children while working or because they're disabled, you don't deserve to be able to call yourself a nurse, a caregiver, a healer, any motherfucking thing. Except the scum on the bottom of my shoe. Y'all want to complain, well, if they're working, why can't they afford food? Oh, well, why don't we ask our government that? Why don't you ask your administration that? Because that is the question. Why can't families who have two working parents or who are working two jobs, why can't they afford food as well as rent and phone bill and electricity? Let's ask the real question, shall we? Instead of shaming people that do need the assistance. And the funny thing is that wasn't even made for us. Because I know exactly who she has in her head. Bitch, it was made for you and yours. And you ain't even got basic compassion for your own damn people. Because when you hear SNAP, when you hear food assistance, you think of us. I know damn well. And mocking assistance and help from a place of comfort, that shows exactly how privilege poisons the empathy right out of person.
Fuck around and find out. Featuring Nurse Tina.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight.
I've been getting tagged in this video every day, and a few days ago I actually commented on this video, and I was asking, is she joking? And then she blocked me. But that's okay, because it's very easy to find that clip since so many people have stitched it. Let's talk about the fact that somebody who claims to be a nurse is on here mocking people who are on food stamps. Can you see how that might be a conflict of interest and a sign of moral decline? I mean, as a nurse, it's your job to help everybody, isn't it? But yet here you are making fun of the most vulnerable people in America, punching down at their worst moment when their food stamps are being taken away. You remind me of a nurse that I encountered when I was 25 years old. On my 25th birthday, I was in the hospital with a collapsed lung, and absolutely nobody in my family called me. One of the loneliest days of my life. It actually turned out to be the best day of my life, though, because that's the day my son Anthony was born, and we would later adopt him. But here I was in the hospital bed, attached to a machine that was plugged into the wall, that was enabling me to breathe. And there was a nurse across the hall from me in a little old lady's room, and the little old lady said, "You're such a nice person. Can I give you a tip for helping me?" And that nurse said, "Shut up, old woman. I don't want your fucking money." And then she stormed out of that old lady's room, and she looked at me and I looked at her and I said, "Bitch." And she ran down that hallway. And that's when I grabbed my machine and I started following her. And she got on the elevator, and I missed that elevator, but I got on the next one. And when I got down to the first floor, there she was. And I followed her into the cafeteria. And I went up to her, and she was with a group of other nurses. And I said, "Let me tell you something, bitch. If I ever fucking hear you talking to another patient like that again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. You should not be a fucking nurse. You don't have the heart for this job." Now, I filed an official complaint, and I don't know if they ever did anything about that nurse, but I certainly think somebody's gonna be doing some shit about you. And I'm not one to dox anybody, but I have done seen all your information spread out all over the fucking internet. People are pissed, and rightfully so. I got a message from somebody this morning saying that she works at that hospital that you work at, and she wanted me to let everybody know that the people who work in that hospital are not responsible for this woman's behavior. So if you have called that hospital to complain about her, please be nice to the staff that you're talking to on the phone. They didn't do anything wrong. She also told me that this is all being investigated, so I would imagine that pretty soon Tina's probably going to be in the unemployment line, and then she's going to be in the food stamp line her damn self. But here's a lesson to all you hateful MAGA people out there. If you have a job and you get on here and you talk shit, you are risking your fucking job. So don't be surprised if your ass ends up on food stamps and nobody shows you any fucking empathy.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
Tina Coleman, to be exact. It is my job as a beautiful Black woman to make sure that the world knows that you, Tina, as an RN, are okay with children suffering due to malnutrition. Tina Coleman, Tina Coleman. Now, since you had your RN degree and you knew every fucking thing, you should have knew that you needed to turn your badge around in every photo. But see, me, I have time. So I scrolled a little bit to April and I saw that you were silly enough to forget because people like you always forget. So, Tina, I've noticed that you've worked in Alabama and you've also worked in Kentucky, places where there are large populations of people who do need SNAP benefits and Medicaid. And I would never want someone like you to be working in the healthcare field that had to ever deal with someone who unfortunately needed those benefits. And not only that, as an RN, you should know the signs of a stroke. Have the day you deserve, Tina Coleman.
You know, it's wild to me seeing men rejoicing that some women will be losing their SNAP benefits. But what really is insane is when you have a nurse like this one right here who is proudly making it known that she is okay with watching children starve. Because everyone that's on assistant programs aren't people that's just leeching off of the system. There are a lot of people who have no other option, and that was their option. But yes, she was okay with it, and she has been found out who she is because she wasn't smart enough to cover up the fact that she was a nurse. Cause she just, ain't nobody go dox me. But yeah, honey, not in today's time. It's only one orange person that we've all seen get away with some stuff. But every dog has their day. But that's a different story for a different time. But this lady right here, just like old girl, I hope you have your day.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
I'm stitching this because y'all need to see what's happening right now. A nurse, yes, a whole RN, got online and thought it was cute to mock people on SNAP benefits. Like, really? As if being poor is a personal failure? Her name's Tina Coleman, a registered nurse at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama. And she decided to go online and belittle people who rely on public assistance, the same people nurses are supposed to care for every single day. And let me just say this, when you mock people for struggling, you're not showing strength, you're showing cruelty. This kind of attitude makes the whole profession look bad. We've seen too much bullying, discrimination, and classism in healthcare, and it's time for accountability. Because when you humiliate the vulnerable, you don't represent nursing, you
Okay. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? I said, bitch, is this thing on? Okay. I'm a channel Dominique Morgan for a minute. Because this has got to be the funniest story that I've ever heard, okay? And Dominique Morgan is my girl. I love her. So I love her down so bad. Imagine. Huh? My God. I'm a nurse. Or there's a nurse that works in a community hospital, huh? Now this nurse is, so you're gonna get where I'm going with this, but this nurse has I wouldn't say it's the bright idea, but she has this, I guess in her mega mind, a wonderful idea to make a video about SNAP and food stamp recipients and Medicaid recipients, huh? Now imagine that video goes viral and you don't think about it because your president will get you up. But you go to work and everything's fine, huh? Meanwhile, people on the back end are calling the nursing board, your job, and anybody that they can, because you a nurse. And before all, you have a oath to take, huh? To take care of people and not be judgmental, huh? But you just going to work. First of all, the videos that we seen on your timeline showed that you really didn't like your job. No way. But since you put that beautiful video on out there about how you had to you had to go to work 2 jobs to feed your child, because, oh my God, it's not the USDA's responsibility to feed my baby. You go to work one day, huh? And you thinking shit is sweet, huh? And they tell you one day, 10 minutes before you get off, that now you will be applying for SNAP benefits, huh? My God. That has got to be the sweetest karma I've ever seen.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
And before you, Charlie Kirk Cooks, come get in my comments, yeah, she deserved it. There is an oath that you have to take as being a nurse, where you can't discriminate against people because of what they look like, what they smell like, what their political views are. You still have to take care of them. I don't know where you people lost your compassion at, but it's lost. Well, you type people never had any compassion except for self. The women can't even raise your children right because they come out to be serial killers and start shooting up schools. And the grown men are abusive and always think that they're right. Y'all are learning. Oh, and before you start with the, oh, well, what about y'all dressing up as Charlie Kirk? What are y'all dressing up as Erica Kirk? Okay, first of all, Charlie Kirk died for what he believed in, which was the Second Amendment rights. It's fucked up that he got killed, but he died for it. And you guys showing empathy for him is not something that he would have wanted. Because Charlie Kirk said empathy was for woke people. So all of you people are sounding woke right about now. And number 2, Erica is a jump off. I'm pretty sure the GOP has ran a train on her already. Let's see, it started with Trump first, and then JD Vance, and then what's that dude that's on Fox, Jake Tapper? He got to tap that too. Stop with that. Because y'all wasn't complaining when y'all was doing Obama effigies on Halloween. Or dressing up as Trayvon Martin doing this Skittle challenge. Or dressing up as George Floyd. Y'all didn't have no problem with it then. So I'm glad that this nurse lost her job. She was putting millions of people, or I'm sorry, not millions, because I don't think Alabama has millions of people. They are a poor state too. She was putting hundreds of people at risk. No compassion and racism kills y'all every single time.
My baby has not not eaten in 2 hours. I am responsible for keeping him fed because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayer.
Not only do I find it completely wild that you post that because you're a fucking nurse, the irony of that all is I went to your page, right? And you have a GoFundMe set up for someone that you know. Nurse who helped others needs our help. Critical home repair. So a nurse that you know needs assistance because they can't afford some things that they need. After 30 years of caring for others as a dedicated nurse in Monroe County, they need all these repairs done. Well, why doesn't your nurse friend just get a second job? Did she not save up enough money to take care of this? Sounds irresponsible of her to be asking others for a handout or for assistance. Unless, and bear with me here, babe, sometimes people fall on hard times despite everything that they've done. And sometimes when that happens, they might look for financial assistance. Anyways, I hope that other nurse's house gets fixed, but really she should be just pulling herself up by the bootstraps. I mean, my God.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. I am responsible for keeping him fed.
Imagine mocking a community of people and then joining them. Nurse Taylor was mocking SNAP benefit recipients. Could be elderly, could be children of people who fell on hard times, or could be someone laid off or terminated. Or it could be someone who was stricken with an illness that you were probably in the room for when they found out. Imagine a SNAP benefit recipient is someone who was just in the room with you, finding out about a diagnosis. And in finding out about the diagnosis, they realize that they're going to have to pay the bill that's going to come from the moment they found out that they are now on hard time. Now, here you are on social media mocking them. And as a result of your mocking, you're now unemployed, terminated. And I say now that you're terminated, it kind of becomes hard to look for a job, because now when you're Googled, now with you being on hard times, would you like to turn to the government that you've been paying into for years, maybe? Do you think that maybe that government that you've been paying into since you entered the workforce should maybe help out? Seeing as how you being employed fed into the government and the economy, which kept the government going, right? They may think maybe, just maybe, they should try to help out a little bit. And in what ways could they help?
This is all I got from this video. And one thing I know for sure is that some we never learn. Now, I am going to say this with so much love, and I hope they hear it, because this is not my people's problem. This is white people's problem. Since I came on this space, I have seen so many lose their job. Why? Because they came on the internet to say some crazy things. Some of them are professional, are in healthcare field. And as someone in healthcare field, there are do's and don'ts, right? There are etiquette. There are some things you don't wake up to say. There are some things you don't wake up to do. Why? Because you are a lifesaver. Sincerely speaking, I do not want to imagine probably what this woman may have been doing prior to this, or maybe she has not. But from the look of things, she doesn't have a clean heart. And I feel like she wouldn't handle people that look like me as patient greatly, because it's obvious. So she decided to pull a black dog, then clothe the black dog, and decided to make the video. She knows what she did. And I love the fact that people called her office where she works. I learned that she has lost her job, or she's already but I hope she actually loses it, because sometimes they put them on probation and bring them back after the whole thing may have died off and all that. But people like this shouldn't be in healthcare, because Human life is very vital. Human life is very important. So there are some people that deserve help. There are some people that do not deserve help, because from the look of things, somebody clicked to her link to check what she has there, and it happened that there is someone she is soliciting funds for. So there are some people that deserve help. There are some people that do not deserve help. She said, get another job. Since I didn't know how to explain this, but in a situation where people will have to do 3 jobs, you are juggling, you are struggling. It means you are not well to do. Because for the first one, okay, that is, everybody should have 1 job. But in a situation where maybe you have things you need to pay off, I get another job. So you want the person to get a 3rd job so the person can die off. That's what it means. I am not sure if people really understand why government help people that are struggling probably to eat. And moreover, feeding people shouldn't be a big deal. Feeding people shouldn't be a huge problem. It's part of human needs or wants. I think need or wants according to Maslow hierarchy of life and all that. Man, I really do hope you guys can do better, because since this SNAP benefit was cut, I have really seen how terrible human beings are. I never knew that a human being would sit down and reject and do not, like, you are doing well. I understand you work. I mean, you work for yourself, right? Because I am okay, I can feed myself doesn't mean my neighbor can feed him or herself and all of that. They might be struggling, or there might be something going on with her. So because I feed well, for that reason, that one shouldn't get help to feed himself. That must really be wickedness from the highest level. Anybody that can do something like this or mock somebody for being on SNAP benefit must really be very miserable. I hear some of you saying, get a job, get a job. Majority of these people work. Just that what they are being paid is not enough. They are not being paid well. And they probably have family. They have to take care of their housing and all that. You all do not put all that in consideration. The fact that you all continue to point fingers at Black people for no just reason, that shows how racist you are. Because if you are not racist, you wouldn't have mounted your camera to do that. You made that video and you thought, oh, maybe they will not find out and all that. Your name was, see, that's how disgusting some of you are. Your name and everything was there. Excuse me. And the pictures you have posted so far, your name was on your tag. You think you are that smart. You think you can outsmart some people. That shows that you are not intelligent. And moreover, it's not about being intelligent, and nobody should do something like this to anybody. Because if she were intelligent, it might have been hard for people to find her, in the sense that her name would not be on her profile and her tag would not be on any of the pictures she posted. But I love the fact that they found her. I love the fact that she will have to bear the consequences of the stupid thing she did, because what she did actually was very problematic and it's very damaging. It's not a good thing. Bye for now.